closely at the Eastern Shore landscape, and you'll see a simple but elegant feat of modern engineering, essential for living, working, and growing food on this wet, flat, low-lying terrain. Yep, we're talking about ditches. And Caroline County farmer Jim Lewis has some real beauties running through his 400 acres of cropland. So nice, in fact, there's a team of scientists studying them. But we'll get to that later. First, for those not versed in the unexpected versatility of ditches, a primer.
If water falls on this field and it's a hard downpouring rain, it runs across the surface, goes over and goes into this pipe. So there's holes in this pipe that it goes up in, goes underground into a pipe that's similar to this black pipe here, that then runs across the field to a ditch.
Rainwater then flows through adjacent ditches and forests before ending up in the Tuckahoe Creek, the Choptank River, and eventually the Chesapeake Bay. But drainage here wasn't always such a carefully choreographed dance.
You needed to have ditches to get the water off the field so it could be farmed, and not just farmed, inhabited. People had houses that they couldn't get to parts of the year. If they had animals, they couldn't get to the animals parts of the year, so just even for roads to be passable.
When the ditch network was installed in the 1930s and 40s, it changed life on the shore and farming along with it. It works well moving water, but the trouble is, as excess water drains from farm fields, unused nitrogen fertilizer can come along with it, polluting the bay and its waterways. When he's not managing the farm, Jim works full-time for the University of Maryland Extension Service, meaning he's up on all the latest BMPs. That's short for Best Management Practices, farming methods designed to improve water quality.
Just like other farmers, I don't want to be the reason that we're polluting the bay or polluting any part of the environment.
One of Jim's BMPs is this, a water control structure. It's basically a box placed at the end of a ditch that acts as a mini dam. At certain times of the year, Jim uses them to trap water on the field. The longer the water stays there, the more time excess fertilizer, or nitrate, has to interact with soil microbes. They break down nitrate in a process called denitrification, a good way to keep pollution from reaching the bay, right? Well, maybe.
But we want to make sure that if we apply a technology that's designed to try to improve the water quality, that it doesn't have some unintended consequence of creating greenhouse gases that will contribute to climate change.
Eric Davidson and a team of researchers from the University of Maryland Center for Environmental Science, including grad student Jake Hagdorn, want to be sure this particular BMP isn't just trading water pollution for air pollution, robbing Peter to pay Paul, so to speak.
So soil is a living organism. I mean, it has microorganisms, and they need to breathe, and they need to eat, and they need to live just like we do. As they breathe, they're consuming things like nitrate, which is just a salt, and as they consume that, they give off gases as a byproduct of that reaction. And those gases are what we're interested in.
Jake uses these chambers to take measurements of gases that the soil gives off as it breaks down nitrate, like carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. And soil samples help him understand what gases the microbes are giving off below the surface. At the same time, towers placed around the field constantly monitor those same gases from above.
What we're measuring here is integrating over a large area of the field. Plus, it's working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
The data end up here, in a deceptively primitive-looking shed surrounded by soybeans. Inside, specialized equipment logs information and makes it available for the team to review, even when they're not on the farm. And back at the water control structure, another group of scientists calculate how much nitrate moves through the ditch at different points during the growing season.
We're interested in what's in the ditch. We're also interested in what's in groundwater, which actually connects to what the other part of the project's doing when we're looking at fluxes from the surface. And so we'll measure nutrients, and we'll also measure dissolved greenhouse gases in here.
The research is ongoing, but at the moment, Eric is cautiously optimistic.
preliminary findings are that we don't see a major increase in greenhouse gas emissions as a result of employing this best management practice.
When a tried and true method is tried again and still holds true, that's growth.
We're actually seeing progress. We've actually seen how application of good science can help us solve these problems, help us solve them in the Bay, help solve the challenges that farmers face. And I think we could probably solve the climate change problem, but we need to have good, strong science to support it.